Welcome to your magic moon message. Ignore that. This is the peace dealer on a wonderful new moon in Virgo, where we are quite ready to bring in all the real change that has been destined for decades now. I'm leaving that vague for wonderfully epic proportions and for you to make sense of that however you want to. But this is a harvest of what we activated March of 2024 with the Sun Saturn conjunction that occurred no less than 6 months ago. That activated a totality and integrity of beliefs. This represented the Noah's Ark ride that since March of 2023, God had called you to begin building your boat. And in March of 2024, you entered that boat, and then you watched everyone around you doubting why you're building a boat drown and die. Now the sun is in Virgo, and we are about halfway done with this trip. In another 6.5 months, we will now be deboarding the boat. But this is the harvest point relative to the activation of a system of beliefs. Like that's the most important thing about this 30-year Saturn Pisces cycle. It is completely changing your belief systems. If you are not aware that that is the most major theme of last year and this year, this Virgo season is going to show you how, because you're going to be activating behavioral patterns, routines, and habits that reflect these belief systems you've activated since March. So if I believed that I could be a stripper, an exotic dancer in March, now in Virgo season, I am living the lifestyle of one of the highest paid exotic dancers. And I have all sorts of middle-aged women and young women booking me so that they can get some of this Magic Mike flavor. Because at this point, I'm one of the sexiest, strippers you probably ever. I mean, dog, handsome chocolate. Who wouldn't want to book me? So, like, back in March, when I believed that I can be a sexy stripper, an exotic dancer, I didn't necessarily know how that would look like. I wasn't focused on what that lifestyle was like, because I had to get myself into the belief that I can quit my, office job and just start stripping at night every night. And that's what led over to these 6 months in activating this belief. It led to June and me understanding and developing a mindset. You're like, you know what? I can be a stripper. I think I could be an amazing stripper. I could back it up. That was what Gemini season was for, because now we began to integrate these beliefs in a working and evolving mindset and thought process to support those beliefs. Now we're integrating that mindset and harvesting those beliefs. Welcome to the new moon cycle that will bring a total change to your lifestyle relative to your commitment to sow in these seeds with this new moon activation. Cultivate and integrate this change in your habit and behavior, and quite literally change your life. We do this every year. Every year during Virgo season, we are activating new habits and mastering new techniques. I've given you the story about how that worked for me 2022 Virgo season, where I mastered the finger technique, right? That being said, what makes this Virgo season much more important is that it's featuring Saturn opposite this in Pisces. And with Pluto retrograding out of Aquarius, it is having you feel into the bitterness and the frustration of an entire collective that operates metaphysically beyond your consciousness, puppet stringing individuals that you see in your world to express these shared beliefs and these false narratives. And you're feeling the bitterness of a collective like this that cannot manipulate you, that cannot control you, that since March has been desperately trying to guilt, manipulate, and shame manipulate you out of entering the I Told You So tour that's going to happen in a month. So not only did they fail miserably in trying to apply peer pressure and unsound logic through appealing to pathos in a way that insults your intelligence, but you have begun further to now begin to integrate new habits around these beliefs, which pretty much indirectly or directly expose the folly and stupidity in anyone who kind of shares in any kind of belief that sees you in less than you are. Total slaughter is on its way, baby. You're about to pick up your sword and cut heads off. But we must perfect this habitual integration and alignment. A lot of people snitch on themselves thinking that they're eating with certain statements that are geared towards putting you down, and they don't realize that they're only exposing themselves. This is going to expose how specifically they did so, because now habits and a real quality of nature of behavior is being integrated that's going to make tangible the effects of the past 6 months, and going to have a lot of people eating their words and looking at themselves in the mirror, which is what they should have done, instead of being insecure and affirming that they are inferior with an inferiority complex by being insecure and projecting their stupidity and weakness on you. The only reason why I'm bringing the whole notion of outside influences and other people is because this new moon is featuring a 270-degree square, which represents outside influences, and a 180-degree square of relationships, which represents other people and outside influences. So now you are putting to test how much you practice what you preach, how much you believe in everything you believed in by now living the lifestyle that supports this. And this is what's going to bring, like I said, a total change of your life through your behavior and routine. That being said, this is also going to activate supernatural techniques with which take the recently awakened abilities and talents, and it's going to bring it into full mastery. So this new moon is very important. You are effectively activating a change and new activation of your life. All right, relative to the past 6 months. And a huge facet of this is the integration further to Jupiter and Mars in Gemini, which Mars will be in Cancer by the time it aspects the sun. But this is going to make you more aware of how your lifestyle is accounting for this evolution in your beliefs. All right. And this, in my case, now since June, whereas I did believe I could be like a stripper, now I'm like, yeah, I think I'm the best stripper ever. Like I basically just busted down for one of my clients and she couldn't handle herself. So now my head's all like, yeah, I think I'm the best stripper ever. Now I'm going to integrate this mindset into how I become Magic Mike, the greatest chocolate sex dancer and stripper ever. All right. Cause we all know this, you want to see this chocolate, right? So this is what is going to require commitment, consistency, discipline towards. Throughout the next couple of days, it will be very clear to you how it is you want to begin to define this habit. You don't have to really look for it. It's going to kind of activate. All right. This is activating magic, behavioral magic that will begin to make you aware and understand how to actually perform these supernatural techniques. Throughout today and the rest of this week, the tangible, physical, practical mechanic around how to actually master and perform these techniques, you're going to actually experience. And that's going to be the basis with which repetition, consistency, you're just going to repeat that every day. For me, what I'm aligning with this is the restart of my workouts. So I know that given that this is a habitually defined activation of a pattern, I'm going to, of course, align this cycle with working out every morning. And I can work out every morning regardless of where the stars are in the sky. But timing it with this, obviously I'm going to see accelerated results, especially in alignment with how this is going to, through this action, express elements of my behavior. And I'm just using working out, but it's going to also express towards the development of your personality throughout the past 4 years and the fulfillment of everything that has been activated since late 2019 throughout 2020 and 2021. All right. Actions that have been done then and instilled that we'll see the real effects of moving forward over the next 6 months, which by the time we're in March, February, the North Node will be in Pisces. And then the way we perceive everything is changing forever. All right, forever. Saturn on the North Node in Pisces with Neptune. So it's a lot to look forward to. This is inactivating this with Venus on the South Node in Libra, going to immediately align you towards what relationships, especially romantically, you are ready to unlock. But that may also involve switching the train tracks on who you feel you're meant to move forward with. So there could be reality checks here where certain attractions to situations, places, people were meant to attract you so you move forward in a certain direction, right? But now that you've fulfilled what you're meant to learn, you may not be meant to be attracted by or attract this person. You may come into huge shifts around maybe losing attraction or desire towards moving forward with people, or things just not working out with people the way that you felt they were meant to. You could just see that as either permanently or temporarily the train tracks being shifted versus getting too caught up on what may not work. And this also simultaneously could unlock potential with people who you've been wanting to work with, or with new people through this new moon who replace or kind of add on to whatever connections you currently have, as Venus in her dignity on the South Node is preparing you for fated connections with people ahead of time when we will be aware of them, with the Sun actually on this position in Libra. Of course, before then, we have to create a lifestyle with which in Libra will integrate that behavior in our relationships to other people. The new moon is also trining Uranus. I mean, they're not directly trining, but it is within the space. At the end of the transit, the Sun will grand Earth trine Pluto and Uranus. So while the moon does that during this new moon phase, you're immediately going to understand the potential of how innovative and transformative this is going to be. This is how I kind of want you to see this. We began the year with Pluto going into Aquarius, kind of awakening us to AI models and a glimpse of what the next 20 years is going to be like. Now that Pluto is retrograded back into Capricorn and we're in Virgo season, it's changing everything so that by the time we come back into Pluto Aquarius, we've already updated, we've changed our whole life, and we're ready to step into those next 20 years. So it's a very powerful retrograde season. Uranus is retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, Pluto's retrograde. Later on in the year, Mars is going to be retrograde. And this reevaluation is preparing humanity for its next stage of conscious evolution and a whole new world order, where we're getting ready to integrate new technology and do away with old traditions and structures that we don't even have to say is anything wrong with. It's just outdated. I mean, we don't use typewriters anymore. You feel me? So with that being said, you want to really keep intentionally and focused and ask yourself this one question. How do you want to live your life? Neptune is opposite this, by the way. Saturn is opposite this, by the way. So how do you want to live your life for real, in a way that's not limited by what you think is possible, right? All you have to do is focus on that. That's it. Start feeling and being aware of how you are living the life you want to live. And this transit will unfold by degrees, step by step, what you need to repetitively master, what skills and techniques you need to perfect. And through this consistency, you will find in a few short 2 weeks that you have already begun to harvest this lifestyle you could have only dreamed of. All right. This is going to require challenging and testing you to maintain integrity of your beliefs around how to live your life, even if you don't necessarily see evidence of that real time, but of course forging towards to plant these new seeds, which we'll harvest 2 weeks from now in the moon in Pisces, where you'll understand how these beliefs align directly with these new habits. So go kill them. Y'all stay blessed as always. Fully expect a turnaround and counterattack to this collective vibration that in its bitterness and desperation has attacked you because they're weak, stupid little bitches, and you living in truth exposes how stupid and fake they are. And I'm saying this like this because this is going to feel very victorious on your way to an I Told You So tour part 2 that's going to have you come at everyone's necks and heads, boy. So anyway, with that being said, you guys stay blessed as always, and until next time.